Hey Fab Fam, it's Vinny B with Dead on Board Gaming, and today we're going to talk about the Banned and Restricted announcement that was supposed to come out February 2nd, that came out January 11th, due to the way COVID is treating the last couple nationals. So we're going to just go over the announcement, and then we'll kind of go over what I'm thinking and things like that, because there's some good and bad coming of all this. So Briar has clearly been the best deck in Classic Construction since her release, winning 63% of the Living Legends points from the National Champ seasons. While new strategies emerged over the course of the competitive season that can compete with and beat Briar, such as Oldham Control, Ice, Lexi, and Kano, it has become apparent that how the Briar Hero card functions, along with her prevalence at events of all levels, is proving negative to the overall enjoyment of playing Flesh and Blood. Today's announcement aims to improve the play experience as well as rebalance the format. So off rip, I love this beginning sentence. I'm not against bans and stuff to improve a play experience. When it's unfun. So through the years of playing Magic, there's bans that happened that I don't think needed to happen, though it's not like they didn't make sense, but like I don't think they were a big deal, as big a deal as they ended up being in a band. I don't think they were bad to play with. The cards were fun to play with. So even though there was a strategy that hit, they could have hit other cards that would have been okay and not changed it for the play, or not just banned it because it was too good. When they make bans for the play experience, I'm always a little bit happier, because usually it's because it's a very miserable play experience going on. Briar was starting to get there for me. I was a defender of Briar for a while, but the longer I played with her in the meta, and I play Ice Lexi, so like I even won portions of my games and stuff like that. But like, fact of the matter is any time that you're trying to trade back and forth, Briar has an advantage. They kind of go over all this, but not going to get super into everything that verbatim what they're saying, kind of what's going on here. But the main thing they were talking about was it was taking 2 defense cards and turning them into 4s and 5s, which that was the issue. The main design that they planned was to turn 2 defense cards into 3 defense cards. But them often becoming 4+ defense cards turns them into defense reactions, which they wanted defense reactions to be exactly that. They defend for 4 and they pitch, but they don't have any other value to them. Well, they do, but that's the way they put it. They didn't have any other value, but they did. Like, you know what I mean? Fate Foreseen Scry, Sink Below lets you filter your hand. But they were turning non-attack actions into, as they put it, modal cards, which I actually agree with, because they were becoming defense reactions, and if you didn't need them, they were very good offense reactions. Love it. Very good reasoning for everything they're doing. I also... so anyways, basically what they got down to was that she was able to leverage tempo on both sides of the ball. And since this game is such a heavy tempo-oriented game, it's just not good. I mean, we all knew it just, the way it was designed was wrong or bad. So they decided to errata Briar, which I think they came up with a pretty elegant thing. Because again, I think the problem is the more you changed it, the more the errata would seem toxic. That's probably the wrong word, but I'm going to go with toxic. So they decided to errata her, and now her embodiment of Earth tokens only trigger once per turn. They still work the same, but they only happen once per turn, which does exactly what they actually wanted, which was to turn 2 defense non-attack action cards into 3 defense non-attack action cards with a little bit of hoops to jump through. Without being able to abuse it, and again, she was able to again pick what type of tempo she needed. If she needed defensive tempo, or she was always pressing tempo. You know what I mean? If she attacked and you took it all, her defense was good. If you blocked out, you weren't able to come back and attack better. And again, like both of those are the type of tempos you're looking to take in the game, and she was able to do both very effectively. So I do think this was a pretty elegant errata. As I said before, I think they could have just changed what Essence of Earth and Lightning meant and changed it so only the cards of those elements would have triggered these, and that would have been a pretty good one too. But I actually don't mind this, though I hate that we're erratating a bunch of cards. But this is the card that I said I understood in errata, and I'm glad they did it, because you don't want to ban a hero, especially in a 3-hero set, which is another negative that we'll get to towards the end. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. So, banning a hero in any set is hugely bad, especially in the point that not really, because sealed boxes could still be good for like sealed games and things like that. It's weird. So I was thinking about, sorry, I'm going to go off on another tangent, but I was thinking about this. This game has a weird setup for sealed boxes. So a lot of people grab sealed boxes because they're like good hold-ons too, and that all makes sense. And especially early in the game like this, if this game makes it 10 years, all these early boxes are going to be worth money. There's no way around it. They have first editions, they have whatever. Even if they change that, the early boxes have that stuff. But as heroes start reaching living legends, or cards start getting banned, which we're going to start getting into, it starts messing with the value of the box a little. Now, I've talked about many times that I think as heroes get retired, it will make its own legacy format. And then maybe that'll, redo it. And again, I don't want to talk about market. I'm just saying that I find it weird that the game has these parameters to where boxes will lose sets of cards or heroes. Well, heroes in general, just as the game goes on, as long as the hero is not complete garbage, will eventually get, retired. And then you have these boxes that have a hero that basically lost demand without a legacy format. But again, I think that's easy peasy. I don't even think that's a question. There's going to be a legacy format eventually. So anyways, back to what we were doing. So again, I think the errata was fine. Especially for a hero, you definitely don't want to start axing heroes. I agree with that. Now we get into the banned and restricted section. Classic Construction, Ball Lightning and Plunder Run both getting the axe on the 17th of this month. Plunder Run, I know people had a problem with, but man, do I hate they banned it. I don't understand why we aren't just banning color strips of this to make it so, because like a lot of their arguments is that, oh, it's a 6 to 9 ran card. Well, if you take away a color strip and say it's the popular color strip, you just take away the red color strip. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, they have the ability to mess with these numbers that people do it. I can see that they don't want decks to become homogenous. And so, like, Plunder One kind of makes sense. I also don't think that... I don't think generics are as big a part of this game as we think it is. I really do think going forward, it's gonna be a sprinkle, and these cards are gonna just keep proving over and over again that they're just either too strong or homogenous, and both are kind of bad for card games, right? So I could see a lot of generic cards going under scrutiny and maybe getting banned throughout the history of the game, just because I don't think a ton of those are necessary for the game. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm getting caught up. This was something that just popped in my head, and I'm really trying to articulate it, and I'm doing terrible. Welcome to my world, and welcome to my brain. um. Anyways, back to it. Plunder runs getting the axe. I'm kind of sad about that, as you know, it's kind of a staple for aggro decks, especially with the errata being done to Briar. I think we could have waited a little bit longer on Plunder Run. I don't think that should have been forced. Ball Lightning, I'm ultra sad about. Ultra sad. I think that card is sweet. That card made Mark of Lightning a sweet card, like a cool cold foil common to go after. Now I'm not so sure. Man, I don't know. Like I know that card had some issues. Like there was weird rulings to it, and it came up with weird play positions and stuff. But I loved Ball Lightning, and I think getting rid of that on top, like they banned the shit out of Briar, and like I don't know if that was good, because now we lost it for Lexi. We lost, you know what I mean? We lost Lightning or Ball Lightning for Lexi. Plunder Run for Azalea. I'm not running Plunder Run and Lexi, but some people are. And other Katsu. What about Katsu, man? You're gonna take Plunder Run from Katsu? I'm sad. These two bands, I think we could have waited. I think we could have waited and seen what happens going forward. Ball Lightning has some weird rulings to it, so I guess out of confusion's sake, I can agree. But again, like the Plunder Run, it is normal for 6 to 9 copies of Plunder Run to be included in Briar and Chain decks. Okay. I guess I get what they're saying. So there's a lot of them. But again, why don't you just axe the yellow one? You know what I mean? Axe 2 of them. Let there only be red. Red's the one most people want to run, right? I know it's the one that's Katsu's running and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't know why they don't tweak the number. Maybe it's too much. Maybe they don't have the resources right now to like really kind of get in there and like really tweak knobs. And hopefully maybe they'll go back and do that. But I think these outright bans for cards don't need to be done. And the game's designed elegantly for that. I think I used elegantly like multiple times in this video. So, like, I just don't understand why they don't take advantage of this system that they have. That literally all, like... I just don't... Again, maybe they just don't have the time to test and figure it out. And they're like, these cards are problems, let's just get them out. Instead of, we can pull... Let's pull 2 of them away and leave 1. And, let the cards still exist. But ran over on that. Let's go to Blitz. Ball Lightning again, super sad. I just don't understand. Hopefully it doesn't get banned in Commoner, but it probably will. If it's getting banned in these formats, it's probably getting banned in Commoner, at least in your group. I know there's no real format thing, but again, it's pretty sad. I'm pretty sad about it. Duskblade, now it's just a useless card. I don't even know what to say. God, guys, I have to be honest, this is a little scary. I agree with everything. I agree with some of the stuff they've done. I think they overdid a few things. Duskblade being nothing kind of sucks, but it's kind of scary, man. There's a lot of bans going on in a game that they thought they wouldn't have to do any bans. a lot of changes. There is a problem with the Duskblade or Runeblade design. I have to think that's apparent that they just can't design a balanced version of a dual damage hero. I mean, I guess Viscerai has been good. It's everything after that, right? Like Viscerai is just kind of the balanced version of it. But here's hoping that after Everfest we don't see a Runeblade for at least the rest of this year, and we can kind of get some other things going. I know they said Runeblades are big parts of the story, which is kind of another thing that's kind of just scary. There's a lot. There's like 7 Runeblades or 9 Runeblades. You know what I mean? 2 of them have been OP by design. Like, like I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. I'm not doom and glooming. I love this game, and I think these decisions are probably right. Again, outside of I think they could have tweaked numbers and stuff like that. I think the errata was again like very well done for what they could do and exactly getting what they really wanted out of the hero. I the bands I'm sad about, but I can understand them all. I'm sad about Plunder Run. I'm sad about both of them. Ball Lightning and Plunder Run, man. I just don't know. I'm going to go ahead and go from here. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, this got a little long-winded, but there's just so much to, like, kind of go over, right? Like, I'm just blown away. And at the same time, super happy that they made a move, and they did it early when they realized that COVID's really messing with the national schedules. Also, to be done, I know this is late in the video and probably no one's going to pay attention to this, but they omitted those nationals, so these bans don't affect those, so they can still play the meta that the rest of the nationals would, which again, I think that was a very good decision. Again, good. I feel like they're probably all good decisions. I just think it's a bit unnerving that we're having to make all of these tough decisions. Bans. I think every set but crew has bans now. Like, hey, come on. I love you, Flab. Don't die on me. Don't die on me. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I think this is good. We have a very big shakeup coming off, and I think this is gonna be great. You guys, thank you so much. As always, thank you for being the best community in gaming, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks again.